morning. I'm Charlie Burnett.
And I'm Lauren Hardgrove, and welcome to this week's edition of Indian Insider. In this segment, we will be discussing girls volleyball, boys softball, girls golf, and boys golf. On Saturday, the girls volleyball team played at the Maine East Invite. They had a tough weekend where they lost 2 games. However, they were able to make a comeback later in the week, with wins on Tuesday and Wednesday over Kennedy and Maine West, respectively.
The girls golf team had a match against Taft and Northside, and Lane Tech won with a total of 217 strokes. A sophomore on the team, Noelle Feller, finished with the best round with 42 strokes. In boys golf on Tuesday, the 18th, Lane Tech came in second in a tournament including Peyton, Taft, and Jones. Ian Forbes led the boys squad, shooting just 5 strokes over par. On Saturday, the Myrtle and Gold finished second amongst 8 teams at Salt Creek. This past Tuesday, they finished third in the city finals.
In the last 2 weeks in boys softball, Lane Tech played Northside in a 2-game matchup and came back with a victory in both games. The first game, Lane defeated Northside 14-1, and the second game 9-0. In their second matchup of the week, they played Taft. The first game, Taft beat Lane by a score of 8-1, and the second game 6-1. In their final games this week, Lane defeated Steinmetz 17-5 and 11-1.
Hi, my name is Julian Nigueros.
And my name is Devion Poda, and welcome to Lane Tech Indian Insider. This week, we're going to be informing you about a host of our sports events that went on last week, including the pep rally and the homecoming game.
All right, let's start with girls tennis. Last week at Peyton, the girls lost, unfortunately, 1-4. There was another away game at Whitney on September 19th. Lane Tech was fighting to defeat Whitney, however, there was a rain delay. The makeup is still to be determined. Boys and girls cross country had a big meet down on the weekend of 14th down in Peoria. It was the Richard Spring Invitational. The boys varsity team placed 13th out of 65 teams, showing some promising looks. Big shout out to Nick Loss, a junior, who PR'd by a total of 51 seconds. It was a key factor to the team's overall finish. On the girls' end, the girls finished 29th out of the 64 teams, with a lot of their girls currently injured and resurfacing from injuries. It'll be a couple more meets to see where they're truly at. Next big meet will be on October 3rd next week at the Naperville Twilight Invitational. Last week, boys soccer had 3 consecutive wins in a row. On the 17th, they played Von Steuben and beat them 2-1. On the 21st, they played Victoria Soto and defeated them 4-1. September 26th, Lane defeated Lakeview 2-1.
After a very successful Spirit Week, Lane Tech had its annual pep rally ceremony where the dance team, the band, and the cheerleading team all performed.
This week in football, we've had a bit of a tough break. The team played Al Raby on September 14th and lost 38-15 in a strenuous game. Although they took a hard loss, they showed flashes of greatness when Thomas Jacobs scored a touchdown 3 minutes into the first quarter, and when Nate Segura stepped into the second quarter and scored a touchdown. They also played Lincoln Park on September 21st for Lane's homecoming game. Sadly, they took a loss of 28-7. They'll be playing Solario on September 28th at 7:30 p.m. at Solario.
This week in hockey, we also ran into a few obstacles. The team played Loyola Maroon on September 23rd and lost 5-0. Goalie Eric Wombolt started off the game, and things were looking very good until the third period when Loyola scored. They will be playing Deerfield on September 29th at 7:30 p.m. at McFetridge, and District 155 Chiefs on September 30th at 7 p.m. at the Crystal Ice House.
This has been CJ Hess and Eli Artemakis.
Thank you for joining us this week for our Indian Insider. See you next week.